Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of the Drive Home Podcast. I am your host, and I am out of breath. But that's besides the point. Let's drive this podcast home. So, I got out pretty standard late. Anyway, I've discovered this, rediscovered, maybe. I like croutons, which I'm not entirely sure how to describe them, but they're like hard bread, they're like breadcrumbs, I guess. And you put them on salads and stuff. I'm sure they're relatively bad for me to eat by themselves. But it's weird. They're kind of like chips or Cheez-Its or whatever, but I don't want to eat them like constantly. Like I want to have 2 or 4, and then I don't want to have any for like a bit. Now, the reason I even considered buying croutons was because I used to have like eating, and I kind of still do. I just don't eat it because I'd have to assemble it or something, or I don't really know how, and it's probably expensive-ish, more expensive. But I like Caesar salad, which I don't know if I mentioned that before. It's not really remember needing to mention it, but it is sort of one of those things, I guess. I first discovered it at a pizza place because I didn't actually end up caring for their pizza, and my dad is the one who takes me and my brother there, but he was still with my mother at that time. And so it ended up being that... Wow, it's really coming down, actually. It ended up being that she got a Caesar salad, and I ended up trying it and liking it. Now, it didn't have croutons on it at the time, but I think that's the one exception. Oh, there's lightning too. Great. It's a bit hard to wrap my brain around it, I guess. So, I like Caesar salad, but I also really like having croutons with it. And in the spirit of getting healthier and eating better, I don't know, my mother suggested, I try to eat it more, I guess, or like at all. And so I ended up buying some croutons during my lunch, and I was like, you know what? I remember just liking the croutons. Like, obviously, I like the Caesar salad as well, but at least, especially the one I got from that one specific place. Really nice place, actually. I used to go there all the time. Don't so often. It's kind of far out to go to, and they used to have an arcade for me and my brother to go play in. They have a jukebox now. Well, they had one before, but it was a more classic jukebox. So you had to like hit a button and it would flip the plastic panel, and you could see the different numbers of different like tracks or records or whatever. I don't really remember. But now it's sort of like a digital one where you can like sign up for like a thing, and it's just, it's not as... But the place is really like old-fashioned aesthetically. It was really interesting though, because they had an arcade area. There was also a pool table and stuff, but they had an arcade area. The pool table was there, of course, but it was sort of the combined effect of, like, it being a pizza place, technically, and it was, I believe it was a remodeled barn. That's the name, Pizza Barn. It's not super far away, but it's, like, far enough away where it's kind of inconvenient to go to. Like, I wouldn't go there every day. Not every week either. Maybe, like, if I really wanted to, like, once a month, realistically. So, but I like going there. I don't like the pizza, surprisingly. I'm not really usually picky about pizza, but I don't like the pizza there. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. I don't know. All I know is that the pizza itself is kind of like, it's not thick. Like, it's the opposite of deep dish pizza, in a sense. That's all I really remember about it, because I don't usually eat it. My brother likes the pizza there, so he'll always eat it. He doesn't really like eating healthy. Well, not that he doesn't eat healthy, but he doesn't like, salads and stuff. That's fair. I like really specific, like, salads and stuff. So it's not really any shame. Is that the police? It's really hard to tell if that's police. There's blue light, but it's really hard to see. I think that is police. Wonder what happened. Okay, there's something going on. Looks like somebody got into an accident. Oh boy. There's some kind of, I don't know how to describe it, a truck that takes cars places. Like Mater from the Cars movies. Tow truck. But, like an actual tow truck. So it's a truck with a bed, and it can put a car on it. So like an actual one. But, dang. I really liked going to the pizza one, and I kind of kept up going there. But, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, when we went there, we hadn't been there in a while, but when we did, they had gotten rid of the arcade section in favor of a merch area, which was kind of weird. But also, I guess you could get ice cream in that area as well if you wanted. Which, like, fair. I'm not gonna say anything about that. It's fine. But the merch area, really, like, and I haven't been there in a while, and I guess someone at my workplace was related to the owner, so, and they were gonna go back to work there, so they ended up, I ended up overhearing something about, how they also didn't, agree with the arcade setting, it being gone, and they were considering bringing it back, I guess? But I don't know what would be there. So, they had some interesting ones. They had 2 arcade cabinets for California Speed, and they had 2 other racing cabinets that were the same one, but California Speed was where it was at. It had a chair that you could sit in, and it was one of those arcade games where if there were 2 of them and they were next to each other, and you both started your game at the same time, you could do the same race and be in the same race as each other. It had some pretty funny music. We kept putting on the, as we dubbed it, the Hillbilly Dash, or something like that. It was like a banjo one. You could probably imagine, like a banjo chase scene type thing. We kept putting that one on because it was funny. Because you could choose the music that played, which was really interesting. There was this other game, I can't remember exactly what it was called, Radical Drivers or something. I don't know. It had an opening theme, which is really interesting. You have to look it up. Radical Bikers. All I really remember is that you're a pizza delivery person, and you have to deliver pizza before the other pizza delivery person. And it was nearly impossible to beat. I don't know if the difficulty was souped up or whatever, but like you had like a like the head of a motorcycle kind of. So like there was a brake and there were like two throttles or whatever, or like the things that you would use to rev like an engine, if you can think of that. It wasn't a throttle. So like the handlebars, you could like flick them back sort of, or like rotate them towards you, and they would activate it would like rev your engine and give you like a speed booster or whatever, I think. There were lots of twists and turns and stuff, and you had to deliver like 3 pizzas back to back to back within a limited amount of time while doing it faster than your opponent, who was an AI or whatever, like a CPU. So my question is, well, not a CPU, a CPO, I guess, though I don't really hear that term. An NPC is what it was. An NPC is what I want to say, which is true. Like, they only had one cabinet. There was also, they had like a dropper game or whatever, like, standard stuff. Alright, this will be part 2. What's up, guys? I'm back. I got a call and I had to answer it, which, kind of ends the video, which sucks, but oh well. So, from what I remember, long story short, I like Caesar salad. It's good. I like the Pizza Barn. It's a cool place. They didn't have that. They used to have an arcade there. They also had like a gun game thing. There were like guns attached to the thing. You had to like aim them and shoot the guys on the screen. That was, well, I didn't really play that one much. It was mostly just the California Speed and the pizza delivery bikers. They had a really awesome theme, actually. I have to look it up, because they had like a theme for the game. It was awesome. It gets stuck in your head. The lyrics are kind of foggy, and I don't know if I can like replicate the beat. No. Well, kind of, but then it continues. I'm a pizza man. I'm a pizza man. I don't know. It's good. I really like it. That's mostly the reason I played it, honestly, because I got to hear that every time. But anyway, tonight, after midnight tonight, Fantasy Life I is supposed to get its pre-ordered. If you pre-ordered it, not on the Switch, you're supposed to be able to play it early. Which is a little upsetting. What did I do? So, I just got pulled over because I accidentally ran a red light. That's my bad. Only slightly. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I didn't realize that I did, and I was turning right, and there was no one going anywhere, but I did, and that's my bad. I got off with a warning because I live in town, and I didn't really mean to, but, I did what I did, and I need to be more careful. Either, I can't really remember what happened. Maybe I was just talking to you guys, and I thought it was green, or I skipped the process because I did the mental gymnastics in my head, and there's a chance I saw it was red. I literally saw the cop car with the blue lights, And I was like, you know, maybe in my head I was just like, there's, you know, what do you call it? The light's red, but nobody's coming. I'm making a right turn at a three-way intersection, and the way I am at this three-way intersection, I can see straight, so I can see the only way that people would be coming that I wouldn't be able to go to, that I would have to stop and wait for. And there was no one there. And maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I guess I explained my situation, and the officer let me off with a warning, which was really nice of him. Oh boy, lightning. That's fun. I honestly didn't even realize I did it. That's what it is. This is a warning and an awakening for that warning. I did what I did, and I can't change that. What I can do is I can promise to be better and be slightly paranoid about it. The officer also commented on my registration. I have the stickers for it, but I need a new license plate, and it hasn't come in the mail, and I need it. But I have expired registration right now. So here's the thing I always say: always be honest as you can. It's not great. It's not fun being pulled over, but I think, if you're a good person, not necessarily a good person, but if you're not someone who's trying to commit a crime, but if you accidentally did it, just be completely honest and answer their questions as best as you can. I screwed up, and that sucks, but I'm not going to pretend I didn't screw up, because that would be stupid of me. I didn't realize I did it, and that was bad, and it's not going to happen again, so help me. Whatever, I'm not gonna screw this up again, hopefully. And the officer asked me if I had any previous experiences with this kind of stuff, and I completely told the truth. I did. I had 2 previous experiences. My first one, before I even had my actual license, I was driving with my dad to my work, and it was snowing, and it was in a particularly bad spot, and I wasn't technically pulled over, but I bumped into the person in front of me because there was ice on the ground, black ice that I couldn't see, and I couldn't stop the truck in time, and I thought I was slow enough, but I don't know, the truck wasn't slow enough, and it was they were dented, but it wasn't horrible, at least. No one was hurt. It was just a terrible thing that happened. The vehicle, I think the lady's vehicle that I bumped into was dented, but and I felt bad for that ever since. And I've always been skeptical about ice and stuff and all that ever since. Super skeptical or whatever. And then after I did have my license, I might have spoken to you guys about this, because this was after I started working. And it was with this car, in fact. But one of my rear blinkers wasn't working. Or whatever. Or the whole light itself wasn't. And I got pulled over for that right outside my work. Which, fair. Absolutely, yeah. It's something I needed to know about and I wouldn't have known about. This is going to be 3 different videos I have to put together now, because I shut off my phone because I did not need to give the cop another reason to be angry at me for having my phone technically out. I could watch the video, technically. I mean, and obviously it's a black screen with a timer, but, like, it would still be a distraction. And I don't look at it, obviously, because I'm on the road, but still. This is just another one of those lessons where it's like, you have to be careful, because it is really crappy out tonight. Like, it's raining, and it's getting dark. It's pretty dark. So, it's just one of those things. You have to be extra careful. And luckily I had my registration on me. My new ones. My new stickers. But yeah, no, so I was let off with a warning, luckily. And so now that the fear of having to pay $100 and something other dollars as a fine is an option that I will have to deal with if I do bad things again, I will be extra careful for the next forever. That's the thing with me and driving. If I screw up once, it doesn't happen again, because I make it a point to not happen again. Anyway, it's probably later than it should be, and I want to go inside, and I have to do my laundry and some other stuff and whatever. And hopefully when midnight comes out, I'll be able to play Fantasy Life I for a little bit. And it's Fantasy Life I, the girl who stole time or something. But I just shortened it to Fantasy Life I, because I want to say Fantasy Life 2, but there's also Fantasy Life Online, and I think there might have been one other thing, and I just don't want to get into the specifics. So it's Fantasy Life I. The only issue with that is people might think I'm talking about one, because I's don't do capitals. Oh, that was a flash of lightning. I don't like that. I want to go inside. I'm going to go inside. So, thank you for listening to this episode of the Drive Home Podcast. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you didn't, you don't have to. Sorry about all the cuts and stuff. Stuff's going on. So, right. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all have a great next 24 hours. See you in the next one. Bye.